All right, some exciting times in the lighting lab. Oh boy, let's light things up. Got some fun toys. Hashtag Bob's Toys. Let's get our lighting on. Got a new box from Westcott. What could it be? Westcott unboxing. Here we go. New box for Westcott. Been working with Westcott on some technical stuff on the back end to help get things dialed in, and I'm really stoked about this new product. There's a couple new things coming from Westcott. I'm getting an early version of a new strobe. All right, we're gonna unbox it. Get it lined up overhead here so we can see things. So it's from Westcott. Love that Westcott stuff. In all transparency, I am a Westcott Top Pro. Let's get this thing open. Get the box open. I know what it is, but we'll see if you guys know what it is. What do you think it is? Obviously, it's not a light modifier. It's a little bit small for that. So let's dig into this box. See what we got going on. Ooh, what's that say? FJ400II. Yes. 400 watt second touchscreen strobe with AC/DC battery. Now, I wasn't pushing for a version 2 because I'm totally jacked and thrilled with the regular FJ400. It's been a workhorse at a lot of our events. Use it on the red carpet, use it for portraits at weddings. We don't do much studio work. Everything we do is on location. So the FJ400 has been a great performer, but you know, I love that Westcott's being innovative, growing, thinking ahead, and looking for ways to improve. Now, let's open this up and then we could go through some of the specs. We'll take that protective layer off. There we go. Let's see what's inside here. I love that Westcott gives you the case for everything. Within the case, of course, you've got USB cable for updating firmware, improving things. Instruction manual. Oh, what's this too? What do we see? FJ800. Yes, we're going to have an 800 watt second strobe that's AC/DC, compact, portable. I'm going to love that for a lot of outside portraits. FJ400II quick start guide and the switch modifiers. There we go. And what's inside the box? This is the same as the FJ400, which I appreciate that they include this. I use CTO gels a ton. Most environments I find myself in are tungsten, but within the gel pack, and these are magnetic rings. Let's get this puppy open, and they are color accurate. I use and mix Roscoe cut sheet gels, and they mix in just fine. So color temperatures are great. So we have a blank one, so you could add your own gel to that. We have, looks like an 1/8 or a 1/4 CTO. We've got a plus green. Oh, we got 2 of them here. A plus green filter for if you're under fluorescent lighting conditions. You have a diffusion disc, which I appreciate at times to soften the light or cut down a little bit of the flash output. And then my favorite, the one I use all the time, is the Correct to Orange. It's like putting orange sunglasses over the lens, right? So most of the time at events and venues, for me, I find myself under tungsten lighting conditions. So even your LED bulbs and FLV bulbs, all those kind of bulbs, most of the time in venues, they are tungsten color temperature. And so I filter the flash to match the light in the environment so I don't get any crazy color shifting, right? So I always carry a bunch of gels with me. Okay, got our shoulder strap. Excellent. Cool. New, smaller power brick. I like that. More efficient. And what's cool about even the FJ400, FJ800, FJ400II is you could charge the battery and run the flash at the same time. So it is truly AC/DC. So if you're going to use it in the studio, you can plug the power in, and that way you're not draining the battery. But I like to be without cables So I oftentimes just run an extra battery, and they do have a regular capacity battery now. And let's get into the spec sheet since it's here. And the FJ Pro Max battery. So you put that battery on a 400 and you're going to get 1,000 plus flashes versus 500 full power flashes from a regular FJ400 battery. And I have to say, in all the years I've been using the regular FJ400s, I have not exhausted the battery at all. So battery check, cool, it's charged. We've got our, like I said, our charger. I love that they always include a switch ring. So Westcott by default goes with a Bowens mount, but I also have other brand strobes that I use, so I can use a switch ring for those, right? Mix and match and link all your strobes together. You could do that, right? All right, let's get to the new big boy here. Here we go, FJ400. And let's see what we got going on here. We'll get this out of the way. So it seems a little bit more compact, better build. It's a touch screen. And let's get the battery on. Mounts the same way, 4-post mount. There we go, right on. Power it up. Here we go, touch it just like the FJ80. And there we go. So we have a really nice functional touch screen. Cool, like that. Menu 1, menu 2, menu 3, menu 4. Hold menu 1, you could go into your sixth menu, so to speak. Here's where you can adjust your freeze, TTL to manual. We're gonna put that on, I like that feature. Instead of decimal, I'm gonna put it in fractions because I'm old school and I need to think in fractions. So there we go, we'll do that. Go back home, all right. Our syncs, test the flash, there we go, good, good, good. And what else do we got going on here? Mode, TTL, manual, excellent. Your channels. So this is really nice. You can just slide your finger right on there, right? There you go. So I've been finding, I like to stay right in the middle. We work in a lot of environments with high traffic, a lot of radio frequency interference. So I stay in the 25, 26, 27 range. There we go. We'll go to channel. And we could set the channels to whatever we want. So while we're in channels, we're in 25. So everything matches. Good. And channel 25, 25, we'll return. Group B, it's already there. So I hit my group B. We'll turn our modeling light on. There we go. It is a brighter modeling light. And also we touch in menu 1, we have our mode, our channels, our groups. Same thing from A to U, whatever channel we would want to be in. So we're going to put this in B because I will test it. There we go, assign strobes, has a nice help menu there. Go back to menu 1, menu 2, modeling light, there we go. Turn it on, and now we have bicolor. Brightness, right? Super bright modeling light. Look at that. A lot of times I've been using the FJ system for just the modeling light. It's just a little bit different quality of light versus a flash. Sometimes I'm looking for a little bit of a old Hollywood glamour look. And I don't know, just that modeling light just looks really cool, the continuous light, so I use both. Here's our daylight color temperature. So you can actually dial in the color temperature by actual temperatures. So 2700 degrees, full orange. Usually I run 29 on camera. So I could set this right to 29. There we go. Very cool. And you could go quickly to 32, 43, 55, 65. So there we go. So 2700 to 6500 degrees in color temperature. I'm gonna put it at 55 for right now. Leave it at max. We'll go, and here's your help menu. So your Kelvin slider. We're gonna go menu 2. back to TTL. Cool. And we could dial that up or down for a flash exposure compensation. So we're going to leave it at 0 right now in TTL. Menu 3. Menu 3 is for our masking and sequencing and frames. I don't do a lot in masking. In fact, very rarely do I do it. So I'm going to skip past that. Menu 4, we could lock our settings so you don't accidentally touch anything. So lock is on. Go back, and then we can't go to. Oh, I guess you can. Did I lock? Oh, lock for manual. Okay, lock for manual. See, I haven't even read the manual yet because it's so intuitive. So we're going to go back to lock, master lock, off. All right. Let's go back to master lock. We'll hit the info button. This prevents changing the settings of the FJ400 trigger. The strobe screen remains operational when the master lock is enabled. Okay, cool. That works for me. Menu 4. Dial things up, down. Our home button. Hold down long, and we have more settings. Here is our freeze. We could adjust the T time, flash durations, TTL to manual. Like I said, we got on, and I want to be in fractions. Very good for me. I'm all set. Here's display info, fractions, right? You can hit your help. And then it gives you a breakdown, which is really nice to have. Look at that, right? So, you know, at power level 9, that's 1 to 1. 8 is half, 7 is a quarter, 6 is an eighth, 5 is a 1/16th power. There's your watt seconds, 400, 200, 150, and 25. Excellent, excellent. So it goes all the way down to 1/256 power, decimal 1, and your fractions 1/256. So that's 1.56 watt seconds of flash power. Cool. So we'll go home. All right. So here we go. Turn the modeling light off. Turn the sound off. And dial it up and down. So now let's test this bad boy out. See how well it works with the R5 Mark II. So there you have it, the unboxing of the FJ400II. And oh yes, the umbrella slot now has a tension knob. I know it came out on later versions of the FJ400II, of the FJ400. So you put your rod in there and you could snug it down, right? There we go, yep. We'll lock it straight up, cool. So while I'm here, let's just for the heck of it, compare the FJ400 and the FJ400II. We could see the differences. So there we go. I don't know if it's actually bigger, but it does appear, you know, a little bit bigger and bulkier. Weight, I feel about the same. I could get the scale and run it. So here we go. Power them up. And I like the touch screen on this. It just appears a whole lot cleaner. Even the mount itself is a whole lot nicer, right? Battery. So cool. We'll use the two together to see where we're at. So we'll zero that out. And let's go do some tests. All right, here's our FJ400. Let's get up. Light stand. So FJ400 version 2. So we have the same Bowens bayonet mount as previously. Again, quick release here on the side. Same Bowens mount. Nice frosted center so we don't get a hot spot. Good dome to protect it. I love that it's user-friendly to change the flash tube and the dome. So again, we're going to confirm. We're in TTL, channel 25, group B, no flash exposure compensation. We're going to aim this right at our subjects. And I'll get the little set here to show you. I've got a target that we'll photograph, a test target for sharpness, a color patch. We've got our colors here of a set, so to speak, so we could get colors, tones, variety, and really check out the TTL. So I'm going to be using the EOS R5 Mark II. Let's get this in here. Here we go. Now, Group B, we'll activate it. We're in TTL. Let's set the camera to mechanical shutter. And we'll start off in single shooting. Hit that modeling light on. Cool. Oh, it's in tungsten. That's okay. Remember, we could dial that in. So let's come back over here. And we are going to get to menu 2. And we want to be 5500. So that's daylight. Whoop, really quick. Dial it right in. Or again, you could slide your finger around here and get whatever color temperature you would like. So we'll go back to menu 1. Okay, we're there. All set. Come back here. And we'll give a test shot. See what happens. We have lots of tones over there. I have a lens chart for checking sharpness, a color chart, and various tones. And this is a great test for TTL. And we'll pull up the live view. Cool, we'll start with a wide shot. Check it out. Good, hit my info. Excellent. Good color. Our histogram is equal from left to right in the length. I'm not as concerned with the height. That lets me know I have good neutral color, and we are not clipping and overexposing highlights. This is our brightness, and we have information in our shadows, so we are good to go. So cool. So we could switch that to manual if we like, and when we do that, so 1/32 power on the transmitter equates to 4.0. So if I want to see the same fractions here and there, I'll hold this menu in and I'll go through the settings, decimal, and we're going to change that to fractions. I really enjoy how intuitive it is. So we'll go back home, good to go. Now 1/32 power, same thing on the transmitter. So whichever way you like to work, if you like to think in decimals or if you like to think in fractions, you're all set, right? So we'll take a shot. All right, 1/32 power. That's a little bit dark. So I'll just check my histogram. See, it's about a quarter stop underexposed. So let's come up here, activate it, and we're gonna go up a stop. So if I press and hold a long hold, that will go up one full stop. If I tap the button, we go up in third stop increments. And we're right back at normal. Right, good exposure, good color. Check the settings again. Right, single frame, Kelvin, color temperature 5600, we're all dialed in. So 1/32 power, should be able to shoot that puppy all day long, right? Awesome, very good, accurate, right on the money. So let's change our shooting to low speed continuous. And at 1/32 power, should have all good frames, no issue at all. I'm just gonna do a blank frame, there we go. Now we're gonna change the speed again to high speed continuous. Remember, we're in mechanical shutter. Cool. Go for that blank frame, there we go. Not a missed shot, awesome. So we'll take another blank slate. We're gonna change the speed to high speed continuous. So we'll go back to live view. And instead of being in wide, let's come in. We could see our colors, our tones, the lens chart. Let's turn some of that information off. Good deal, good. Check. Still writing. There we go. So it's about every other frame, even at a 16th power. Okay, not bad, right? I think that's 14 frames per second. So now let's zero this information out. We're gonna go back to single shot. And we're going to change the shutter from mechanical to electronic first curtain. And I'm doing this because I want to know how the flash and the TTL or the flash and the manual sync up and work with the changes in the actual shutter from mechanical to electronic first curtain. Good. Let's do a blank. There we go. Now we'll change it to low speed continuous. Again, no problem. Here's our blank frame. Good. Take another blank frame. Awesome. Same procedure. We're going to change the speed from low speed continuous to high speed continuous. See what we do. And we will check. It looked like it fired every time. So right now, for the R5 Mark II, the transmitter, FJ400II, the firmware is all dialed in and it's working better with electronic shutter. The R5 Mark II, its native is electronic shutter. So we're an electronic first curtain shutter. So that time we didn't miss a beat at all. Right, so we took a blank frame. Now we're going to go to high speed continuous plus. So I think this is in electronic first curtain, 20 frames a second. So it's keeping up really good. I'm impressed. Cool. So it is about every other frame again at that high speed continuous plus. It's keeping up, and that's at a 16th power. All right, good to know. Now, keep everything apples to apples. We are going to change the shutter to electronic. So fully electronic shutter, not electronic first curtain or mechanical, but fully electronic. We'll start the same procedure, and all our settings are the same. We're just changing it to single frame. And we have good exposure, good color, nothing has changed. We have no drifting. We went from zoomed in to a wide shot, make sure nothing is changing. So we have continuous light, good exposure, good color, everything's working great. Super impressed with the new flash and then firmware that goes along with it. There we go. We'll go to low speed continuous. The previous FJ400, FJ80, all those other ones did not work very well, if at all, in total electronic shutter on the R5. I know for a fact on the R5 Mark II, the previous firmware did not work at all in electronic, full electronic shutter. Remember, that's native for this camera now. All right, so we are good. Check that again. Everything is good. All right, we'll do a blank. Good. Go back to live view. Focus. And now we are going to change our speed to low speed, from low speed continuous to high speed continuous. Let's see. Yep, kept up with every frame. We're good to go. All right. So now let's try H+. Crazy fast. Remember, we're H+, and we are in full electronic shutter. So we'll get it in focus. Everything's good. And this time, let's come in a little bit. Come in closer, just for the heck of it. It's 20, 30 frames per second, raw, in full electronic. And we are keeping up with every frame. Good exposure, no blanks. So, again, I don't know if that's the camera, firmware, or the flash. The flash could keep up, no problem. But it is working beautifully in electronic shutter. Awesome. So those are my initial tests. We have good modeling light, good color. Everything's good to go. All right, let's recap. We got the new FJ400 version 2. Badass light, touchscreen, better battery improvement. Overall, the ergonomics are improved. The build quality seems to be improved. We have the same Bowens bayonet mount. We have bicolor. In fact, what am I doing? Here, let's just go through the spec sheet. We've got the announcement of the FJ400II and the FJ800. So these are touchscreen AC/DC strobes. So remember, you could plug in the charger or AC power and run these in your studio and not drain the battery or take them on location, right? And you got battery power. So let's go through the quick specs here. We have fastest recycle times, capture every moment with industry speed and reliability. And I ran through it in the previous test. It works awesome with the R5 Mark II and full electronic shutter. Interchangeable batteries for flexible AC/DC. So the battery is interchangeable between the FJ400 and FJ800. While we're talking batteries, they make now the FJ Pro Max battery and power adapter. So you put the larger capacity battery on the 400, and that's the 400II. They're not compatible with the previous version 400. So these batteries are only for the version 2s and the FJ800. So you'll get 1,000 plus full power flashes on the 400, and the Pro Max battery on the FJ800, you're going to get 500 plus full power flashes. Compared to the FJ Pro battery, you get 550 plus full power flashes on the FJ400II and 250 plus on the FJ800 full power flashes. That's your AC and DC compatibility. So the specs on the FJ400II are the fastest 400 watt second AC DC touchscreen strobe, unrivaled recycle time of 0.01 seconds to almost 1 full second recycle time, so 0.9. 550 full power flashes with the FJ Pro battery. Remember, they now make the Pro Max battery. We have a 30 watt bicolor LED modeling light. So this is going to retail for $599.90. So far, so good. Stick with me. I'm going to be dropping regular content. We are going to take these out on location, put them through their uses. As you can see, I was using the FJX3M transmitter, but when we go on the actual shoot, I'm going to be using an FJ82 as well as a transmitter, and maybe even off camera as well as like a backlight rim light, but this is going to be our main light. We're going to take it out into the field. So here we go. Let's go through the total strobe specs. And I'm going to stick with the FJ400 first. So you have 9 stop range from 1.56 watt seconds to 400 watt seconds. Energy duration, that's what we got there. Flash duration, normal is 1/200th to 1/6540th of a second. Remember, flash can actually freeze action. So if we put the FJ400II into freeze mode, you start off at 1/220th of a second to 1/10,800th of a second. So the higher the power, the longer, I should say, your flash duration. Meaning at full power, you're going to get that 1/220th of a second. As you lower your flash output, it shortens the flash duration and will really freeze action. Try and come up with some creative tests and photographs to test that out. Let's see, that's flash duration. You have T1 times and T5 times, so the flash duration gets even shorter in the T0.5. So then we increase the freeze to 1/24,000th of a second. So we'll start off at 1/500th of a second, and it goes to 1/24,000th of a second in freeze. Recycle time, 0.01 to 0.9 seconds on the DC battery. We have normal in TTL. We have normal or TTL, so manual or TTL. Remember, we could go fractions or decimals. You have color temperature is 550 degrees Kelvin, 5,500 degrees Kelvin, at plus or minus 150K. High speed sync, we have 5,500 degrees Kelvin with plus or minus 300 degrees in Kelvin. It could shift at high-speed sync. Remember, high-speed sync is kind of like fuzzy logic. The flash is actually strobing to keep up with the rate of the shutter. So that's high-speed sync, and all flashes do that. A continuous capture, 50 frames per second, and that's camera and power dependent. So I found for continuous frame rate, the communication or the firmware or however they sync up and talk to one another work best with the R5 Mark II in full electronic shutter. Now I will have to test that with the FJ82 and its latest firmware in the hot shoe as the transmitter. But for right now, that continuous rate is great with the FJX3M. Bones S-type mount. We have flash increments to 0.1 stop to 1 full stop. Manual to TTL, of course. Creative mask mode, yes, in manual. Flash exposure compensation is plus or minus 3 in TTL. The bicolor modeling lamp is LED 30 watts, and it goes from 2,700 degrees to 6,500 degrees Kelvin, which is great. With sync functions, high-speed sync, normal, front, rear curtain, and remember you have freeze as well. Sync speed is up to 1/8,000th of a second in high-speed sync. I'll try and test that out, but it's been pretty gray here in Chicago, gray and stupid cold. The wireless radio frequency communication is 2.4 gigahertz, but Westcott has done tremendously well to giving you plenty of channels and reliable wireless communication. In all the environments where my other flash system would kind of struggle and fail and have a challenge connecting, the flash system in the FJs, 200, 82, 400, I've not had any communication issues or drop or loss of signal at all. So wireless channels, we have 31. Wireless groups, you have 16. The range is estimated at 320 feet or 100 meters. I'm never that far away, but we will check it out. The display is a color OLED touchscreen. Self-monitoring cooling system, voltage stabilization. You have USB-C for firmware updates for both PC and Mac. So this one is weighing in at 5.3 pounds. There you go. Cool. Battery specifications on the FJ Pro Max battery is 500 plus at full power, and that's on the FJ800. On the FJ400II, we have 1,000 plus full power flashes on a single charge. It is AC/DC lithium ion. It's 148 watt hours at 5,000 milliamps. We've got 29.6 volts. Battery indicator is LED. Recharge time is less than 3 hours. Battery charge cycles is 300 plus. Battery level is plus or minus, give or take, 25%. Power cable length is 9.5 feet or 2.9 meters. Weight is 2.2 pounds for the battery. So there you go. Great unboxing. Love it on the initial tests. And we're going to take it out into the field and really put it through its paces. Got no complaints. I'm excited to get going. So share the light and stay with me, and I will catch you guys later.